something to it. Just encourage it. It will take you to church. Let's go.
Good afternoon, gymnastics enthusiasts. Welcome to the Tri-Cities High School for the Isla HBCU Classic of 2026. We're coming to you live from East Point, Georgia, and we're excited for some good gymnastics this afternoon. My name is Tavia Smith. I am a 2019 graduate of Centenary College of Louisiana, and I am joined by Michelle Andrews.
Hi.
Do you mind telling the people a little about you, Michelle?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm Michelle. I was a competitive gymnast myself growing up, and I've been a coach for 17 years with my own competitive team. So really excited to see some good gymnastics today and all the hard work that these girls have put in to see what they could show off.
Perfect. First, we're going to kind of introduce the coaches and the teams. So first we have Wilberforce. They are coached by Dr. Morgan Bird. Fun fact about her is that she's actually a doctor of physical therapy, which I also am, so that's super fun. And then she's assisted by China Hibbets and Kylan Horn. Wilberforce's season average is a 169.931, and their high is a 184.875. And
then for next, the team is William and Mary, and their coaches, the head coach is Kelsey Mann, assistant coaches Kendall George and Caroline Blatchford. Kelsey Mann will be starting her 7th season with these girls, and since 2018, she's actually led them to a lot of successfuls and some of like their most victorious outcomes since 2018, which is pretty cool. And then as for Kendall George, she is entering her 2nd season as an assistant coach and was a gymnast herself with being a beam queen, and her actual highest score in her career was a 9.850 on beam, which is pretty great. And the average for William and Mary, we're looking at an average team score of 191.421 with a high of 192.4.
then our last team for today is going to be the Fisk Bulldogs. They are coached by Nariah Mack. She is in her first full season as a head coach for the Bulldogs. She also is like a business owner and she's an esthetician, which is super cool. They have a lot of assistants, Brittany Taylor Owens, Lindsay Collier, Nia Mack, Kylie Copen, and Sky Henson. And then Fisk's average is a 187.338, and their high is a 189.8. One thing that I really admire about the Bulldogs is that before the season even started, they found out that this was going to be the last year of their program, and they really have still shown up every single meet with strong gymnastics and determination. So I really admire that about this program.
Wow. It's always kind of sad when you hear another program of gymnastics being cut, but I'm sure these girls will represent the last the gymnastics season that they have in the program very well.
Yeah, definitely hard as an athlete, because obviously when you get to your senior season, you already know it's the end, but then also to have it cut short in that way is even more so challenging. So right now we're kind of just going through our 4-minute touch. So before each event, each of the athletes will have each of the teams will have 4 minutes to kind of go through all of their skills and rotations again, just to make sure everything feels right, feels good. Because basically all the athletes come in 2 hours early and warm up everything, but they haven't touched this individual equipment in literally 2 hours. So just making sure that everybody's safe and ready to go for a competition.
Yeah, it looks like our first 3 events will be vault, bars, and beam for rotation 1. We'll have Wilberforce on vault, Fisk on bars, and William and Mary on beam. Seeing them all warm up makes me miss the days when I was a competitive gymnast. I feel like I could feel the nerves for them too.
Yeah, my heart is definitely racing at this moment in time. I think especially that 4-minute touch is like, oh gosh, I have like literally 3 seconds to get my life together real quick before it's time to go.
All the shakes you like can't control. You're like, it's okay. I've trained for this. I got this. But
if you finish, it's done. So then it's really fine.
yeah. Did you have a favorite event, Tavia?
Honestly, it depended on the day for sure.
Okay.
I would say most of the time it would be bars, unless yeah, most of the time I'd say it was bars. It was never floor vault. I didn't like the leg events, although I could do them.
Yeah.
What about you?
I would say floor and bars, definitely, because I love tumbling, and then just like the whole routine and the artistry behind it. And then bars is just about swinging, so that's always fun. But yeah, beam was not my favorite because of nerves. And then vault, vault was just vault for me, I think.
No, literally. Yeah, definitely love the like performance aspect of floor. When I was in like high school, I would say I would get like too nervous to like fully perform, but by the time I got to college and was able to like loosen up some finally, it was a lot more fun.
Definitely.
Definitely excited to see some
Oh no,
to see some fun dance today.
Yeah, I feel like when you're younger and like kind of still learning how your body moves, it's interesting to try to like be performative, but then once you hit your confidence with it and like you understand movement better, like it's so fun to go full out.
For sure. Yeah, definitely all about confidence.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, looks like we're
Looks
beginning.
like we're about to get the show on the road.
Good luck to everyone. All right, balance beam has begun. Switch side, very nice. All right, Nice stick on that dismount.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Way to go for the fight for the finish, for sure.
Yeah.
You want to fight for every single tenth.
Yeah, you can't control everything that happens at competition. So even if there's a fall or a bobble, it's more important on how you get up and you finish and you continue to have your confidence. So great dismount and good on her for finishing strong.
Definitely, because you, especially as the leadoff athlete, you never know what the rest of your teammates are going to do after you. So making sure that you're as diligent as you can be to fight for every tenth is really important.
Absolutely.
Getting ready to go on bars here, I think. I used to always love these little pre-routine chats. It's interesting to see how like each coach and like athlete has their own little routine that they like to do to like
Yeah.
mentally prepare. All right, here we go. Very nice
Awesome.
series there.
Yes, we got the beam going again too. Beautiful flight
go.
series.
It's always interesting at these meets to like know where to look at any given moment.
Yeah.
There's always something going on.
All right. Bars has resumed.
Really great handstands in this routine for sure.
Definitely.
Way to fight there on beam.
Yeah. Yes, we have Madeline Frazier on beam currently, just about to dismount. Very nice. Yeah. Oh, now we've got vault up in the top left. And then vault's a lot about like just speed and amplitude. So I'm curious to see if we're going to see a Sukahara or Chenko or. So far we have one score up That was posted from the first competitor for beam with William and Mary. Looks like- And second score up 8-1-5 on vaults.
I was like, to answer your question from earlier, it looks like a Yurchenko layout back there on vault. I was like, that's definitely the more common vault entry, but it's always fun to see a little versatility too.
Definitely. Some of the height they get isn't really impressive as well. So
Definitely.
when the repulsion off the table, sometimes they're flying.
Some really pretty beam going on so far. Nice lines, toe point, good amplitude. Love to see it.
All right,
That was a
another
great
routine
hit,
down.
yes.
Yeah.
Really keeping the ball rolling and keeping everything on track. That was a beautiful routine.
All right. It looks like we have Butler up on vault next, and then Johnson on bars. And I think we are waiting for the next gymnast to be announced for beam.
Okay, we got that bar score in, so the next athlete should be mounting shortly. We got a 9-7 down there on beam. I told you, beautiful.
Heck yeah, 9-7.
Nice connection there on bars. Really hitting those handstands.
Oh yeah, she's swinging for sure. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, speaking of unique dismounts, love it. A toe on front. Great set from Zaya Coleman.
Yeah, and she had really great changes of shape in her tap. And the bigger of the shape of change you have from hollow to arch, the bigger the release and amplitude and tap. So she did really beautiful there.
And then I saw, so speaking of amplitude, really great amplitude on your Chinko layout there in the back with a nice, powerful landing.
Just waiting on a few scores to come in.
It's looking like a 9-5 for Zion bars. Definitely getting
Great.
the ball moving.
No, 9.75 on beam too. That's awesome.
Yeah, William and Mary is really bouncing back from that first routine, doing a good job of holding it down.
Oh, beautiful connection.
Dang, that was a beautiful dismount over there on bars, throwing in that extra half at the end for the extra difficulty and bonus.
Yeah, from toe on too. That was beautiful.
Yeah, that is literally so hard. I could never.
Okay, gainer dismount, twisting.
Like really fought for the stick on that. So really good gymnastics done on the beam as well, and finished strong there at the end. And looking like we got a 9-3 in there for Wilberforce from Promise on vault. Up next, we'll have Kaylee Garner on vault. Another strong layout, just that step forward.
All right, 965 on bars. Beautiful work.
They love that dismount too. I see.
And then we're just waiting on the score over here on beam. Melanie.
A different release there for the Bulldogs on bars. Threw in a Jaeger. Love to see it.
Nice. All right, another beam down.
And that should have been their anchor, Ashley. So I think they have one athlete that will go after her in the exhibition spot, which basically just means you get to practice competing without the extra pressure of your score counting as a team. So a really good opportunity for the next athlete to get some reps under her belt in competition.
That would be such a great way to practice competing too, if we all had opportunities like that. And in front of
Definitely. I can definitely remember some times where I was exhibition, like, if I fall, it won't matter. It's fine. Very low stakes in this moment, and then it goes better. Or at least that's how my brain would work. Like lower pressure, usually I would do a little bit better.
Absolutely. It's hard when all the eyes are on you, the crowd and the judges, and then you're trying to, breathe through it. So any little area you could take pressure off. It's always great practice.
Definitely. Especially until you get like used to the feeling.
Yeah. Alright. Next up on beam, we're going to have Sally Wood.
And waiting to go on bars, we have Sophia Pratt. Oh, perfect.
Overshoot. Gymnastics is definitely one of the most challenging sports. Not only do you have to have great technique and shapes and form, but you're also looking for height, amplitude. On floor, you have more artistry, beam a little bit, but on top of like trying to have the perfect technique, you got to get way up in the air.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of things to think about all the time.
Yeah.
For sure.
Even down to your head placement.
Literally every single inch of the body. And that was a strong exhibition performance for Wilberforce on vault as well, from Sadara Mayhorn.
All right, Sally Wood's mounting.
And the other good thing about being in the exhibition spot is showing the coaching staff that you are capable to get up there in a pressure situation and do what you've been doing in practice and kind of like prove yourself in a way that you're ready.
Definitely.
And we have the anchor, Hadassah Diggs, mounting on bars for the Bulldogs.
Ooh. Perfect. All right. Some nice giants and pirouette work in there.
And a hit to finish. Can't go wrong with it. So that should have been our last athlete of the rotation. So we'll just wait for her score to come in and then they will transition to the next event.
So currently we look like we have William and Mary at a total of 45.8. Fisk, it's looking like 45.975 or 075. I just see on my end. And then I think we're waiting for one more from Wilberforce to come in. No, exhibition. So we're at a 45.85 for them.
Yeah, basically, so we're just gonna like rinse and repeat what we did before. So all the athletes will rotate in a circle around the arena basically. And we'll do 2 minute transition time and then 4 minutes of re-warm up the next event. And then we'll get back to competition. But yeah, like Michelle was saying earlier, in oh, here we go. Top scorers from that event. We have for Wilberforce a 9425 from Sydney Smith. Really strong Yurchenko layout from her. And then we're still waiting for that last bar score to come in for Diggs. But definitely the Fisk lineup was highlighted by Sanaya Roseby and that super cool dismount, that toe on front half. And then from William and Mary, Summers really stood out to me with her strong lines throughout that routine. So she highlighted that event with 975.
Yeah, and the judges definitely agree with you based on their scoring.
I love when that happens. It's like sometimes there's a blessing and a curse of being a subjective sport in some ways. It's like you can do your best, but sometimes you never know what the result's going to be. But we control what we can control.
Definitely. And even outside of that, like judges, even though they kind of score from the same book, they also kind of look for different things and might have an eye for different things. So you can only show up and do your best and, you know, practice what you've trained, and then the rest is out of your hands.
Exactly. But yeah, going into event number 2, in first place we'll have William and Mary with a 46.8. In second place, well, hard to tell since that last score is not in on bars, but Wilberforce so far has a 45.85, and then Fisk looks like they're going to have a 46.375. That dig score just came in at a 9.050. So looking good so far, and it'll only go up from here.
And then for the next rotation, we have Wilberforce on bars, Fisk on beam, and William and Mary on floor. Just following the Olympic order. I am definitely really excited to see some of these floor routines too. As of late, I've been doing a bit of choreography myself, so it's always fun to appreciate the artistry behind the choreographer's work and then how the gymnasts show it off.
Definitely. It's definitely a lot of hard work to like come up with the music, make your own mixes and stuff. Even just choosing it, the music can take a long time, and then figuring out how to fit the choreography to each individual athlete, I'm sure it's a lot of work. So I have a lot of respect for that.
Yeah, there's like a skeleton you hit of like when the music changes, but I also like to encourage like a lot of athletes to pick music that shows off their personality, like something they could relate to, because at the end of the day, like you want them to have fun with what they're performing and to feel connected to it.
And it makes a big difference in how the athlete performs it too, when they're like, it's actually a song they enjoy and like moves that they enjoy. Then they don't have to worry so much about the dance, and they can just worry about the tumbling and can actually show off the dance a little bit more.
Yeah. It feel more natural for them, and it's always fun to see.
Yes, and it's always fun to see like the different personalities that each athlete has on the floor. Personally, I'm partial to the like somewhat creepy looking floor routines. I don't know, when like it's more serious and they're just staring off into the crowd. I'm like, I wish I could be an actress in that way. I love that for you.
Yeah, it definitely can captivate you and pull you in. Or like some of like, I guess you could call it contemporary movement, when if you have like the intentional flexed foot or like the weird poses.
Yeah, it's always fun to see things that are like unique and different, and not everybody looking like they're doing kind of the same sort of dance and situation. So.
And when I say weird poses, I don't mean that in a negative. Sometimes I actually think like those that are poses that you don't typically see.
Things that are quirky.
Yeah, it gives it more character.
Yeah,
it gives it character, and it's something different to see.
For sure. I feel like I should be doing a little dancey dance to this music in the back.
Also fun when you see the athletes like perform on the sideline some of like their teammates' choreography, like the parts that are their favorite.
Yes. It's so fun.
Oh, it looks like a bar routine has started in the left corner.
Yeah, we got Maya Keynes up first. Strong dismount there. And then on beam first, we should have Aaliyah Reed-Hammond. She's definitely a strong athlete for Fisk on beam, so I'm excited to see what she does.
Sophia Summers has just started floor. Oh, I like this song.
Starting with a very unique series, back handspring to side aerial over there on beam. Definitely hard to keep it moving and get that connection for that, so she kept it moving correctly in a way to get credit for that, so that was good. Definitely getting a lot of leap connection bonus over there on floor. It's always interesting to me to see the different kinds of composition that athletes choose to go with to get up to that 10 start value.
Oh, great stick on beam too.
What a great leadoff performance and getting things moving for Fisk over there. Definitely after that first athlete hits, the rest of the team can take a little bit of a sigh of relief, like, okay, we're on the right track.
Yes.
Just keeping everything moving from here on out.
Everybody exhales together.
Literally.
Sophia Summers did a beautiful job performing her floor routine too. Definitely like her head movement throughout the routine and her lines. You could see that she actually had like personality and
Yeah, you definitely could see why all of those athletes were selected as the leadoff performer. Usually the coaching staff will go with someone who's steady. Steady Eddie is more or less a guaranteed hit. And you could tell why those athletes were selected because they perform so well.
and seeing assistant coach and gymnast over there getting the Cupid shuffle.
I love that for them, as they should. Keeping everything loose. It's always good to be on meet day and be able to just kind of breathe and show off what you've been training.
Definitely.
Yes, and for Fisk and Wilberforce, this is their second meet this weekend, I believe. So, this is we already did the rehearsal, so we can just kind of be free and let go tonight. So, or this afternoon, I guess.
Back-to-back meets, that's a lot.
Yeah, definitely a lot on the gymnast's body, but prepares them a lot, I feel, for like postseason and being super ready for that. Because if you can survive double meet weekends, you can conquer the world truly.
I believe that wholeheartedly. We have some scores coming in. Great Hammond with a 9.675 on beam. Great job.
And then next up on beam, we should have Hadassah Diggs. next up on the floor, we should have Michelle go. Starting off with a strong Rudy. And a piked front toss on beam. Those also so hard. And she's a little bit of a taller athlete, so she has to have some hops to make that one around.
Oh, beautiful stick on beam as well. They're really hitting their landings very well.
They definitely have been working on sticks in practice, that's for sure. A pretty Maloney there on bars, straight to the overshoot.
Who's ever DJ at this meet has got the classics going for sure.
Yes, they need a pay raise. This is a millennial's dream, this playlist.
Yes.
Another strong score for Fisk on beam with a 9.5 for Diggs. And next we'll have Kennedy Johnson. And then I believe this should be Sally Wood up next on the floor. Very pretty lines on that Rudy on floor.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it can be hard for athletes to like keep their feet nice and together on that skill just because you're twisting so fast, but she did a really good job of maintaining correct body position. So
Yeah, saying great control on the landing.
mm-hmm. Another Maloney on bars. Getting that connection bonus by the overshoot straight to the low bar. A
Beautiful
great hit over
that.
there. Yes, good hit for Wilberforce. They're excited about that one. And way to finish up on beam for Kennedy Johnson.
So we should have Ashley Rudy coming up on floor next.
Starting off beam with a wolf turn. Everybody is required to do a turn, but that has to be the hardest variation. So assert your dominance. Another hit for Wilberforce there on bars. I loved throwing that little pack in there. I was an athlete who did a pack, so I always loved to see them. And Sanaya really got everything back on track there on beam for Fisk with a strong hit.
Another nice high score. We're sitting on floor with a 9-7. Great work.
Yep, scores look like they're building on floor so far, which is really what you want. The first athlete sets the benchmark, and then from there, we want everything to kind of go up from there to create a strong team total. So everything's looking on track so far.
I'm hoping to see another Jaeger on bars. I did love Jaegers, and then I know maybe we'll get some Tkachevs in today too. That one's always hard to pronounce.
Literally. I was like, why couldn't we just say what we meant when we named the skills? It's
Yes.
fine. But yes, I do love to see a Jaeger. I did Shaposh's, but I do love to see just like different single bar releases. That's always fun.
And all of them are really incredible and like beautiful, especially when executed properly. So
Another back handspring to side aerial on beam from Fisk. I love it. This one of the most fun things about college is getting to do the skills that you're actually good at and not having to do like a cookie cutter routine. So
Yeah.
it's fun to see, different
Absolutely.
variation.
I love that
Speaking
too.
of I was like, speaking of variation, that dismount off bars, okay.
Now it's great when you can actually start working with your strengths and weaknesses, because everybody has like things they excel at and shine at. So great to let yourself actually do those things and hit those things.
Yeah, definitely. I was definitely not really a beam worker until I got to college because it was always, you have to do a flick leg when I was in club. And I'm like, I cannot. But I could finally do a front to back series in college. I was like, oh, maybe I can do beam. Turns out. Score still building over there on floor with a 9.775 for Sally Wood.
Such a great extension in her dance on floor right now too. I could feel the drama.
Yes, I love it. Oh yeah, really working up to this pass right here. Loved it, love it.
Beautiful. You could tell she felt confident in that routine and just nailed it. Great work.
Score for Ashley Rudy came in 9.875. That's huge.
Wow.
The team is also ecstatic, as they should be. Period.
We have Kelsey Mann, the head coach over here, doing her thing, prepping her gymnast.
Last up on beam for Fisk will be Allie Berkeley.
Great acro series on beam.
I loved the lift she got on the layout. That was nice.
Yes.
This song is giving me flashbacks. The intensity. This is what I was talking about.
Yes. Okay. All right, double back. Beautiful. All right, that was Summer Penzi. So it looks like we just have our exhibitionist next on floor, Bren Vitrano. Also, coming back to Hannah Burke, who competed floor just before summer, her score ended up being a 9.9.
We love it.
Beautiful.
It was so good.
So good. When she hit that ending pose, I could just tell she's like, yeah, I owned that. That was my routine.
And did.
Second rotation is just wrapping up. And it looks like the highest score for Fisk on beam is Elia Reed Hammond with a 9.675. Not too bad. All right, and Bryn just wrapped up floor.
Strong set from her, like we were talking about earlier. Really good for her to get competitive reps under her belt and show the coaching staff that she's ready to go if they need them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then looks like we got that last score in for Summer on floor as well. That came in at 9.525. As far as highlights from the second rotation, for Wilberforce, that would be Sydney Smith with 9.65 with that unique double full dismount. Super cool. You hardly ever see those. And then for Fisk on beam, Aaliyah Reed Hammond, and with that 9.675 with her unique skills as well. And then for floor, obviously highlighted by that 9.9 and 9.875. Super awesome rotation on floor from William and Mary. And hopefully they can keep that momentum going into the next rotation as well.
Absolutely. And when you look at these
was like-
scores, it is so interesting to see just how much it is by like 0.25 or of a tenth, or, you know, it's just always so close, like down to like that little toe point or that head placement. And how we talked about earlier, just everything being like a sport of perfection.
Yeah, the little things really do matter. But anytime that team score is near 49, you know you've had yourself a day.
Yes, definitely. These girls should be proud of themselves for sure.
athletes are just going to finish up that 4-minute touch. In rotation 3, on vault we should have William and Mary. On beam we'll have Wilberforce, and then on the floor we'll have Fisk.
All right, it's looking like we're wrapping up the touches. Just a couple team bonding encouragement from the coaches. And then it's
Yes,
time to
nothing
compete.
quite like a nothing quite like a team circle to get you ready to go.
Yep.
First up on vault, we should have Sally Wood. On balance beam, Mackenzie Butler, and on floor, Kennedy Johnson. Did my jaw just drop a little bit? Stuck your Chinko tuck full to start. Okay, period.
Sally getting after it. All right, looks like floor starting too. Kennedy Johnson. Great double back.
Yeah, really strong amplitude there. And it does look like William & Mary opened vault with a 9-7, which is impressive, especially for leadoff.
We've got a Beyonce themed floor music going on, which I'm all for. Rerun the World is in there. And yes, the girls do run the world here.
As they do.
Yeah. Oh, good save on beam. Fought for that aerial landing.
Strong hit to start for Wilberforce on beam. She definitely was fighting through that routine for every 10th. It does look like they had a little bit of rearrangement of the lineup. So that was Sydney Smith.
All right. We've got Melissa Gao with the 9.725 on vault. They're hitting vault really strong right now. And Catherine Barr will be up next.
Your Chinko layout full from her. I'm loving seeing the progression of difficulty as well for William & Mary. That opening floor routine for Fisk got a 9.725, so they're also starting off strong in this third rotation. Wilberforce is definitely showing some fight on beam today. Staying on at all costs.
Not giving up, that's for sure.
Exactly.
Got Sophia Summers on vault next. And then Liberty Mora on floor, and I think Thomas Jean Marine will be coming up on beam.
Yes. And then Sophia Summers' score came in on vault with a 9.625. So we should be on Hannah Burke. Huge amplitude on that layout half. You really don't see too many of those anymore, so I love to see the variety.
And it looks like we don't have an exhibitionist on vault, so after Hannah, we just have McKenna, and that'll wrap up William and Mary on vault, and then they got one rotation left, just bars. Final event. Nine 8 from Aaliyah on floor. Impressive.
Yeah, it seems like the teams really came to play in rotation 3. I love it.
Yes.
All gas, no brakes.
The way the music changes on floor 2 is great. It just brings different personality at different parts of your routine.
slowly getting those beam scores trickling in. We got a 9.525 for Mackenzie Butler, and then looks like a 9.2 for Sydney Smith so far. The pure leg strength required to do a 2-foot layout is insane. That was so good.
I love seeing the teammates get hyped for their
Yes.
teammate who's competing. As much as it's an individual sport, you also do have, your second family, whatever team you're on.
Definitely. It's like you get to see all the behind the scenes of what makes the routine, so it's always really rewarding to see your teammates go out there and succeed.
All right, Allie Berkeley starting her floor routine.
Very powerful in that double pike.
Yes.
Too much air. Way to finish strong there for Allie. There will be a neutral deduction just because she went out of bounds on that first pass, but definitely finished strong and maintained the power and energy throughout.
I definitely had a lot more control on landing in her last pass with that double back. Although you got to give her kudos for the kind of power she puts behind it. She did not lay off the gas.
No kidding. And our next beam routine is underway.
Looks like there's still a little bit of a lag on the scoreboard, but this should be Zaya competing on floor. Such beautiful music.
Good control on that opening pass.
I usually see a back tumbling pass for the first sequence, but she switched it up and in front first.
Oh my gosh, I know this dance. I need to get off the internet. A little Chris Brown montage.
Love Chris Brown. On this one, I might be under a rock a little bit because I was like, is it on TikTok? Because I am not someone who has TikTok.
It's definitely on TikTok.
Oh, okay. It is interesting how you kind of see TikTok influencing some of the choreography. I've noticed that in a few
Athletes
for sure.
I was like,
lately.
especially like the last year or two, I've definitely noticed that a lot more. There's some more like trending dance moves from TikTok dances or reels or whatever you partake in. A strong finish there for, I think, Sanaya there on beam with a stick. So it looks like this should be a pretty strong team total for Wilberforce. So I think we should have maybe 2 competitors left on floor. We should have Zaya. She's a performer, so this should be a fun routine to watch. And then on beam, we should have the exhibition performer left to go. And it looks like that last beam routine came in at a 9.6. Super strong finish for Wilberforce.
And just the waiting game before it's your turn to perform can sometimes feel daunting. You just want to salute and get out there.
No, literally. It's especially before floor. I'm like, now my legs are cold, my arms are cold. So you can see her trying to stay loose over there on the side. It's like, please just let me salute. I was ready. I've been ready.
The adrenaline's like just pumping, like we got to get out there. We got to go.
Right. I was like, especially if you're toward the back end of the lineup, it's like, okay, I've been waiting for all my friends to go, and now.
Yes.
But to be fair, we do want the scores to be right and for them to have all their conversations they need to have. But
Absolutely.
as an athlete, I want to beat up.
Yes. Wow, gorgeous first pass.
Yeah, I was like, I think that was our first like front through to double back that we've seen today. Adds a little extra bonus and allows them to get more of that bonus early on in the routine. So very strong from her.
You're right. She's definitely performing it very well.
Yes. It sounds like the Sinners soundtrack to me. I'm not sure. She's trying to get her Oscar nomination as well.
Beautiful. Gives me a little bit of like a Cirque du Soleil vibe too, some of the music change and performance in there.
Definitely. I that's one of my favorite routines that I've seen this year for sure.
Yes.
Okay, looks like I think that should have been our last performer for that third rotation. Looking at team totals and stuff, it looks like that was a season high for Wilberforce on beam. So super good performance from them overall.
Congratulations, Wilberforce.
Yes, I was like making sure everybody hit the routines when it counted. And then obviously William and Mary finished up a little bit quicker because they were on vault, but they also had a strong team total with 48,625. And then we're kind of still waiting for that last set of scores to come in for Fisk. But highlights for me for Fisk, Zaya obviously was a highlight there, and then Aaliyah Reed Hammond really came in strong at that front half of the lineup. And then also for Wilberforce, first competitor, one of the highest scores, and then finishing strong on the back end as well with Sanaya. And then yeah, basically the whole William and Mary vault lineup was a highlight, honestly. They started with a stick and really never let off steam. So super fun rotation for rotation number 3, and can't wait to see how everyone brings it home.
Yes.
looks like those last couple scores are trickling in for Fisk. Sanaya in the 5th spot got a 9.675, and then Zaya Coleman posted a 9.5 to round out the event. So as far as the team total, Fisk ended with a 48.425 there on floor.
Yep, for our last rotations, we have vault, uneven bars, and floor. I personally feel like at least no one has beam, and I don't mean to be a beam hater, but I feel like you could relax a bit more when beam's off the table.
That is very much true. Very much true. Like starting and ending or ending on beam, yeah, not a favorite. Once it's done, I feel like breathing is possible again.
Yes.
Yep, so finishing up that 4-minute touch. On vault, we will have Fisk. On bars, William and Mary. And on floor, we'll have Wilberforce.
right, it looks like things are starting to kick off for the last rotation.
Here was your Takachev you were wanting. We got one.
All right, great stick.
And then opening on floor should be Kaylee Garner. Ending with a front through to a double tuck is actually so hard. Impressive from her.
Great work.
Strong legs, lots of preparation. A little bit of a delayed start over there on vault, but we got up first Kennedy Johnson. Opening with a tuck full, so much power. And then on bars we'll have Kate Peebles. Really winding up for that dismount.
Had a tough landing there, but that's okay. It happens. I was gonna say I'm really impressed on her giants, the way that she got the speed to continue to speed up.
Definitely.
anytime you're at a competition, you're on equipment that probably feels a little bit different to you because it's not exactly the same as the same mats and the same bars that you have at your own home gym. So a little bit of adjustment needs to happen there.
Definitely. And I think for me, like that bars was the biggest adjustment. Like they all feel very, very different from meet to meet. So definitely a large adjustment that each athlete has to make. And that was a Yurchenko layout over there from Zaya Coleman for Fisk. Nice and powerful, open hips throughout.
To still score a 9 even with a fall, that's pretty impressive.
That really just means that everything that she did on the bar was super good.
Yeah. Anytime my athlete has a situation like that happens, I like to go back and be like, hey, if that one little blip didn't happen, which it usually doesn't, this would have been like your actual score. And I feel like
exactly.
you could kind of play with that in your head for the next meet.
Exactly. Because it really is just like a split second difference between, like hold on 1 second longer and then that's a 9.5, that's a 9.6. Yeah. And then we have Promise Jean-Marie on floor.
Another double back piked. Oh yeah. That ending.
Yeah, so what she did was that, indeed.
Yes. And I feel like that's like the ultimate sleigh drop.
Literally. Mic drop and walk off.
Yeah.
Vault's been going pretty well over there for Fisk. Diggs notched a 9.625, and then Sanaya Roseby also just went with another strong Yurchenko full.
We've got Michelle up on the bars right now, and so far, William and Mary seem to be hitting strong with the 9s on their scores.
Yeah, they've thrown in a little bit more variety in their single bar releases with some Gingers and Sakachevs. We love to see it. Next up on floor, Maya Keynes. And next up on bars, Catherine Bear. Great connection bonus there on bars. Fisk finishing up strong on vault with Ali Berkeley. Zurchenko full, just a little step on the dismount. Way to pull around that double back at the end, like we've been saying. So hard to do that at the end of the routine, hence why the judges give it bonus points for even doing it.
Looking like a 9.65 for Catherine Bear on bars. And then next we will have Bryn Vitrano. And then Melanie Faulkner as an exhibitionist, and then that wraps up their last event.
A little bit bouncy on that double layout at the end, but great lines on the bars, and you can tell she has a smooth swing as she goes. She's a natural bar swinger, so that's always fun to watch.
Definitely. And I feel like the little round at the end actually saved her from having a fall, so that was a good decision to make mid-flight.
Definitely. I was like, a lot of gymnastics is being able to know when to make the tiny corrections in order to save it, and great body awareness.
Yes.
Just waiting for that score for Bryn to come in, and then we'll get the go-ahead for Melanie, the exhibition athlete, to get going on bars there.
With vault being wrapped up now, it also looks like Fisk had a pretty strong competing from all their girls, all their athletes, everyone in the mid-nines and up.
Yep, definitely finished strong there for them. Oh, and we're back on floor. Strong routine there from Melanie, really showing that if the team needs another athlete at some point, she's ready to go.
Definitely, that looks pretty smooth overall.
So it looks like the rest of today is just going to be a floor party, so get ready. The hammer time dance, I love it.
Love it too.
Yes. How do you not dance along to that? So we should have 2 more athletes coming up for Wilberforce on the floor, Sanaya Smith and then Diamond Cook. So all eyes on them. Okie doke, looks like we're ready for Sanaya here on the floor. A front double full to open. That's our first E difficulty pass of the day. Ending with a front lay, front Rudy. Definitely loves to do a little bit more of that front tumbling. Next up on the floor will be Diamond Cook. She's also a super fun performer to watch. I remember last season when she competed at the national championships and just watching that live, it was so fun. She captivated the entire audience, so I can't wait to see what she does this year.
I'm super excited then. And yeah, now she's got all eyes on her being the last one to carry us home on floor and for the meet.
Let them cook. That's hilarious. I love it. Play on words.
Great front pass, great connectivity, tight in the twisting, good amplitude. Full. Okay, switch ring.
Yeah, so when watching different floor routines, it's like important to note that you can basically do a combination of any skills in order to get your start value all the way up to a 10. So she does that switch ring and like harder leaps and jumps in order to reach her 10 start value. But yeah, super fun. I love the little dance break in the middle.
Oh yeah, she definitely was like partying in her floor routine and enjoyed it. Loved seeing it.
I love that the meet has ended and we're already dancing.
Celebrating for sure.
Yes.
Is there anything you miss about competing or being in this world, or do you like commentating now and being in a different aspect of the sport?
I do like being in a different aspect of the sport, but I do miss like the camaraderie of everything and being with your friends like 100% of the time, and kind of like just the grind of being in the gym every day. That's what I would say I miss the most.
Yeah. I mean, I think once a gymnast, always a gymnast is a very real thing.
Oh, for sure. You definitely can identify with anyone else who's lived that lifestyle.
Yes.
There's nothing quite like the feeling of like competing new skills and competing new routines for like the first time on the competitive stage and like making it, and just that joy of working so hard to be able to be where you're at.
Definitely. It's a lot of work put in, and I always find athletes of any sport, especially like gymnastics, you're kind of like little like superheroes, because the amount of time you can commit to it and the discipline, and it's not It's not easy, and it's definitely not for those faint of heart.
You know, I tell people all the time, I'm like, I feel like in my day-to-day career now, I'm like, everything feels so much easier because if I survived life as a college athlete during gymnastics, everything else just feels like this is so much less stressful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so basically now they're just gonna kind of wait for all the scores to be tabulated and everything and be put into the system, and then we'll do awards. We just wanted to say thank you to all of our sponsors here for the Isla HBCU Classic. Thank you to the Atlanta Dream. Thank you to Hibbett Sports and Nike. Thank you to US Glove. And to Avatara. We appreciate your investment into college gymnastics and the HBCU Classic and investing in women's sports.
Yes, big thank you to all the sponsors. It's invaluable how you can help keep the sport going and pour into it. It changes a lot of people's lives.
And then here, we just wanted to highlight a few other Isla events that are on the calendar if you want to check those out. Kind of spread out a little bit throughout the country, so keep an eye out for those events through the rest of the year.
It looks like Wilberforce's floor scores are starting to trickle in, so we should have totals here soon.
Okay, looking at the leaderboard in third place, congratulations to Melissa Gow from William & Mary with a 9725. Congrats to McKenna Mullins, also William & Mary with a 975. And in first place today, Hannah Burke, William & Mary with a 9775. And then coming to uneven bars, there was a three-way tie for first. First is Catherine Bear from William & Mary, 965. Sanaya Roseby from Fisk, and Sydney Smith from Wilberforce.
I don't think I've seen like a three-way tie for first like that. I mean, I'll
Not
see like
in
a
a
two-way, yeah, but wow.
Yes, not too common.
And then we have the balance beam scores up. Third place goes to Jasmine Hugh from William & Mary with a 9.7. Second from William & Mary, Sophia Summers with a 9.75. And then Leah Reed Hammond with Beam Queen this meet from Fisk with a 9.775. And then we have our floor exercise, Diamond Cook from Wilberforce in third place with a 9.825. Ashley Rudy from William & Mary with a 9.875. And Hannah Burke from William & Mary in first place with a 9.9. All of those are actually really impressive scores too. High nines. Great job, ladies. And then I know Tavia mentioned you love Diamond Cook's routine and her artistry, so it looks like that also got her placed in top 3. Beautifully done.
It pays to perform and to be clean. And then looking at our all-around results, it's looking like third place, we got Kennedy Johnson from Fisk. Second place, Promise Jean-Marie from Wilberforce. And then in first place with the gold today, Sanaya Roseby from Fisk. Here we go. And now since we can see the scores, Kennedy Johnson came in third with a 35, Promise Jean-Marie with a 35.25, and Sanaya Roseby with an impressive 38.625.
Great job, ladies.
And then looking at our team totals. In third place, we have Wilberforce with a 186.075. Second place, Fisk with a 195.25. and William and Mary with a 191.85 coming in first. It's a great job to all the athletes. I'm pretty sure that both Fisk and Wilberforce did put up season highs today as a team total, so that's super impressive. And William and Mary obviously coming away with the win. Great performance from them as well.
Yeah, great job. And it's also interesting to see how from different teams you'll have your individuals win and then just your team scores, how that could differ. Yeah, great job to everybody. Everybody put in such good work, and it was fun to see the performances and all the strong areas they had in like their amplitude and their artistry and their connections.
Okie doke. Well, that's going to be it from me and Michelle for today. We're so happy that you were able to spend the afternoon with us as we watch this competition.
Yeah, thanks guys. Great job to all the athletes, and happy to be a part of this and watching the girls do what they do best.
Okie doke. We're going to sign off and leave you with the awards.